Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm TFR Wilderness and this is the next review in this mini series of Hello Carbot minifigures that I'm doing as a small stuff review. Small stuff review is a review of a toy that is, in my opinion, too small, too gimmicky to warrant doing a full-blown review, and I try to review it in 5 to 6 minutes. So with that out of the way, let's have a look at the subject of today's review, and it is Hello Carbot's mini Rook. Now this figure, I hate Rook. I strongly dislike Rook, mainly because in his original form, in both the show and the original toy, I think both his alt mode and his robot mode are hideously ugly. And his one-step transformation was ridiculous, the way that it worked. And so I wasn't a fan of this figure, so I never was of any interest in buying the original big leader class one-step changer toy of it. And but I've bought this minifigure because it if I'm going to get a set of these Sam Changzar or these Three Musketeer, these Carbot brothers, I might as well get them in this sort of like mini scale, so I can have a version of all three characters in one scale rather than having to try and hunt down the big ones, because I've only got one out of the big figures, and that's Pone, who you're going to see in the next review. Still trying to get hold of a knight, but he's like really hard and expensive to get hold of. Rook, on the other hand, he's like unobtainium. You just cannot get him. I have never seen Rook come up for sale on eBay for years. I mean, for some reason this guy sold out really quick. I don't know why. Anyway, so getting back to this one, as you can see, he's got that typical Hello Carbot mini box. It's a little like Matchbox style box, and it's the same deal with this as with the others. You open it up, pull the figure out. It's in a little baggie. Again, instructions are printed on the inside of the box, so you cut it open and if you want to use the instructions, but you don't really need it on these guys because they're fairly simple. So then we got Rook in his car mode. Now just look at this car. Look how misproportioned it is. I mean, the wheels are right in the corners of the vehicle mode. He's got these bulbous curving wings at the front, a really tiny cockpit in the middle. It's just the proportions on the car mode are just so it just looks weird and awful and kind of ugly, I think. So yeah, I just hate the way the police car mode looks. It looks awful. It looks terrible. The only thing it does remind me of, if you look at these sort of curvy wings he's got on the front, it kind of looks like the profile of the Blade Runner, when they had the flying cop cars in Blade Runner. It kind of looks like that. It's got those big sort of curvy, sort of roundish wings at the front, or fenders as the Americans call them. So if you took the wheels off or made it into a hover car, then it would look more like the car from Blade Runner than anything else. But as for an automobile that drives around on the streets, it's a disaster styling wise. It looks awful and horrible, and I totally it makes me want to throw up looking at it. But it's only the little one, it's not the big one, so there we go. It's got pin wheels, it rolls really well, but yeah, I really dislike this thing. So let's get into transformation, shall we? Transformation, again, pretty straightforward on this guy, like all the others. He does have weapon storage. He has like a little blue gun, which sort of plugs in to the underside of the vehicle mode, so you can take that off and put it to one side. Then you just pull out the sides, fold out the legs, split them, and then there's these little bits you have to fold up for the feet. And there we have Rook in his robot mode. Now, again, same issue with Rook's robot mode as his car mode. His robot mode just looks hideously ugly. I mean, this mini version doesn't look quite so bad because it hasn't got... I mean, he's got these stupid sort of hexagonal panels on his chest and his waist that that look like sort of like pectoral muscles, but they're so not, and it just looks absolutely weird the way they've designed his chest and his hips. His hips look very similar, and the way that the guy transforms, you push a button and his legs all sort of like fold out from the car mode. And you know, the automorph transformation is garbage on this thing. The minifigure isn't too bad. It doesn't look anywhere near as bad as, you know, the true robot mode from the show or the big figure. So it's a little bit more acceptable, a little bit more pleasing to my eyes. He still looks really, really weird, I think. I mean, the proportions on this guy are a little better. They don't look too bad. The one in the show looks desperately lanky because his thighs are like super long, and it just looks really weird. But this robot mode isn't too bad. Right, just put a gun in his hand. Articulation, again, he's got the link there. Ball jointed shoulder, so you can move the arms, get a little bit of movement in the arms. The arms are solid, no elbows, no waist joint. The hips, again, now he can only pull his hips out to there. He can kick right forwards, can't move back very far, and again, deep knee bend, and it's got a little bit of a toe bend. So yeah, it's got typical sort of Legion Legion articulation, I suppose, for a better word. Size comparison. Here's a quick size comparison with him with Combiner Wars Legends Bombshell. So yeah, he's an okay figure in this version. The big one, you can't find it. It's like unobtainium. It just doesn't exist anymore. It just disappeared very quickly when it went on sale. I don't know whether he was super popular or what. I don't know. The Koreans obviously loved it, but it's not to my taste, I'll say that much. Yeah, but this little mini version's alright, and I only bought him because I wanted to get the set of the 3 in the mini scale. That's the only otherwise I wouldn't have touched this thing with a barge pole. But yeah, it's not particularly great. Mostly the aesthetic is what I dislike about this. But anyway, this review's gone on far too long. So yeah, I'll end it there. I've been TFL Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.